Hey, everybody, good early morning to you. I'm going to read it from a prepared text, which is also in the description of this video, which will become the text for this blog post or video blog post on Oakland News Now blog.com and oaklandnewsonline.com, as well as the other blogs of the Zenny 62 Media network. So, without any further ado, here is longtime City of Oakland staffer claims racial bias, discrimination in Sydney that's administration office. The City of Oakland's true new colors, are showing in the wake of my finding that Howard Terminal Ballpark project boss Molly Maybrun bragged about working with her, quote, old friend and colleague, Betsy Lake, in her LinkedIn post, openly pointing to the appearance that the way she got the position was because of her relationship with Miss Lake, the assistant city manager who was with Oakland before Maybrun arrived. My longtime friend, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, who must do better since I'm the one who told her to run for mayor in the first place on the 9th of May of 2000, on the 14th of May of 2009, opened up this vlogger's look into the matter when she admitted repeatedly that her current Howard Terminal focused staff, including Ms. Maybrun, lacked the proper expertise in tax increment financing related economic development, which explains the glaring lack of projects using Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District or EIFD legislation and using TIF, again, tax increment financing, to get money to businesses and people who need help recovering from the pandemic, as California Assembly Bill 464 Mullen allows. AB 464 Mullen was signed into law by California Governor Gavin Newsom last summer. But this long time and not to be named City of Oakland staffer revealed to me in an out of the blue text to me was damning. Here is what this person sent to me with some editing for appropriate expression. And after sharing my post on Ms. Lake and Ms. Maybrun, but not realizing it was me who wrote it. In other words, what he did was he said, "Hey, Zinni, take a look at this." And then I wrote back, "Well, actually, I wrote it." Okay. When I informed the person that it was me, out came a flood of new and sad information. And this boils down to something, a problem my longtime friend, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, can solve and must do so as soon as possible. The info from my source reads as follows. A lot of things gone wrong, exclamation point. Ed Reiskin, the city administrator, and Betsy Lake, the assistant city administrator, are hiring their friends. Also, Betsy had no experience in public works or DOT. Ash manages the two departments. Most of the 800 people in the two departments don't even know her. And I put this in parentheses. Then my source let loose, sharing what is their personal opinion about a public figure in the guise of Ms. Lake. He wrote some things that I am not going to repeat verbatim. I will only say that this person believes that Ms. Lake has a race problem. I'll leave it at that. He then went on to write, she does not give a damn about Oakland or the people. She is Libby's friend. Give her a high-paying post, he writes. I'm just saying this as he wrote it. And now staying to boost her benefit and retirement. Her and Ed favors Dot and making high-level positions for his friends and former staff at the San Francisco Maritime Transit Authority, San Francisco Metropolitan Transportation Authority, SFMTA. It's been a while since I uttered those words. That were fired from San Francisco, bringing most of his former staff from SFMTA and giving them assistant directors and managers posts. It's sad, my friend continues. No equality, no justice, and the bias and discrimination are at the highest at the City of Oakland ever. They hire one black person, but that person does not give a blankety blank about anyone else. to cater to Betsy and Ed, not to the staff or community. This person wasn't referring to the latest OakDOT director that was hired, who is African American and male. Actually, he said Fred's a nice guy. The public works director is inexperienced and promotes white women. He is not from Oakland, the public works director, and has no public works experience, was fired from multiple agencies. The last job he had as city manager was a city manager for 12 people in a city smaller than Emeryville. Betsy and Ed did not promote black guy who was in the city or another assistant director with more experience, and Betsy hired this person. Okay, so what my friend and source is saying is that the last job the public works director had was in a city smaller than Emeryville, and that Betsy Lake and Ed Riskin didn't promote an African American man in the city of Oakland who was better qualified, or another assistant director with more experience than the person that they put in that position to run public works. And my source says that Betsy hired him. Okay. And then he writes, it's a mess. Last week, he promoted a white lady, talking about the person over at Public Works, promoted a white lady to a department that she had no experience in that field, and bypassed a black manager who'd been doing that job for 33 years. He continues, I've never seen Oakland this way in the 30 years I have lived here. So this is a continuation of a City of Oakland process that has chased away more than qualified black personnel since Strong Mayor was installed. And from this vlogger's long-term view, the story that my friend reports is the continuation of a City of Oakland practice that has chased away African-American talent since Oakland voters approved Jerry Brown's version of Strong Mayor in 1998. From city manager, then city administrator Robert Bobb, to redevelopment agency boss Fred Blackwell, and now Santa Rosa city manager Marikesha Smith, who was their first black hire in that position. I might add, she made history after many assert, and they're quite correct, she should have Ed Riskin's position. But I digress. And many people in between, and currently Oakland has established a sad track record of chasing away amazingly well-qualified black city workers. And while Mayor Schaaf has made efforts to fill positions at the top with African-American workers over the last 2 years, from the news I am consistently receiving, that is overwhelmed by what's happening under them and the bad track record of prior to the past 2 years. And that brings us back to the matter of Betsy Lake and Maybrun, who was actually brought in 2019. The problem is, to repeat my initial message, that when Jerry Brown was running for mayor of Oakland in 1998, he openly and shamelessly pointed to the city of Oakland's black professional class as unresponsive and built on a process of, as he put it, friends hiring friends. Brown then claimed the voters put him in as the city's first strong mayor to stop what Jerry used a racist lens to see as a problem. Understand? Now, today, there's clearly an institutional racism problem in the city of Oakland. The assertions of my friend are not to be taken as hyperbole, because I have also known this person to correct me regarding City of Oakland actions of the past that I perceived as racist. He's going out and making a solid argument that there's a problem. So stay tuned. And it has to be understood, okay? And in that too often we look at what's before us, and even though the problem is there, we refuse to see it. Oakland right now has a problem where it points to the vast majority of homeless people as black. The unemployment problem is faced primarily by people who look like me. And yet we have a Democratic run government that, in working to get reelected, props up all the good news and quite literally ignores and fails to fix the bad ones. We have a still extremely expensive housing problem in the city of Oakland and the state of California. And I might add, that's expanded like a virus to the rest of the United States, although to a lesser degree. And we have a problem where if you are a laborer, increasingly where you turn, you see automation taking the jobs that you used to do and threatening to take the jobs that you're doing. Think about it. Call centers, which were once based in the suburbs of the United States and then migrated to the Sun Belt, are now overseas, primarily in the Pacific Rim, such that every time you make a call to an AT&T service worker or to the people who service my servers, you're calling overseas in the Pacific every single day. Those were jobs that were once held by Americans and jobs that Americans can do at home in this remote work environment. Yet we've done nothing to get them back. So we're trying to paint a picture that everything is okay and the economy is super healthy. And yet what we're really doing is we are building and then building yet again a have versus have not society. And the have not increasingly tends to be someone that's dark like myself. And the way we get there is by our people like Shang Tao saying she's not going to, she's refusing to interview me or allow me to interview her, but she'll meet with someone white. She's Oakland council member for District 4. Or Ed Reiskin sitting at the helm of a city of Oakland where talented Black staffers are not maintained. And something happens where they wind up leaving for some ridiculous reason. And the result is a gigantic brain drain. Look at how Mayor Schaaf handles Howard Terminal. She does not have a single African-American person to present at her press conference that's part of her staff, be it consultant or project manager or assistant project manager. And when she does put someone Black up there, they are from a third-party organization, like a union group or something like that. No. I might add that Councilmember Tao does the same thing, as do a number of other City of Oakland council members. They should know better. So this process has to stop, because the modern game is to present the Black person as if they don't have the smarts or qualifications to hold a job and then just ignore them. We do this by decision, and we do it by algorithm as well. It's a gigantic problem that algorithms designed by companies like Google have done. And that's another related story that I'm going to focus on. This has got to stop. Subscribe to Zinni62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. That ends this broadcast.